we've had plenty of affordable entry level. How about some nicer keyboards, but entry level price? The KBD8X MKIII is the next step. High-end fit and finish, and only what? $199 including plate and PCB? No longer do you have to do some PCB shipping and plate math to figure out how much your keyboard actually costs. I'm an unabashed fan of KBD fans. One of my first keyboards was the KBD6 Mark II. Love that keyboard. It was great for hot swapping. I did a lot of sound tests back then and really got my start in reviewing boards because of KBD fans. This showcase is sponsored, but I'm not gonna pull any punches. Let's get into it. The market for affordable 60, 65, TKL, 75. Man, every keyboard has been budgeted out. All the Zooms and QKs filling the market. So much so that you get a little bit tired of it. Gas came out this, PVD wait that. But what people really want is something like the Geon F1 or Frog level, but cheaper. The KBD8X Mark II was a sleeper. It was a well-built keyboard with a reliable top mount. But it wasn't sexy. It was outshined by almost everything. The OG font on that board was kind of meh, and it didn't have cloud appeal. So back then, everyone cared about hype. Everyone cared about showing off. Honestly, still to this day, everyone cares about showing off. KBD8X Mark III is the evolution of the latest generation of KBD fans mounting style. Before we get into the nuts and bolts though, let's talk about how this damn thing looks. This is the gray anodized unit and it looks freaking clean. It's actually finally a true middle gray that can be matched with anything. I freaking hate my Kohaku gray because it has a teal tint and my Chimera had a purple tint. It really locked me into specific keycap choices. You can either go the uncoated route with the stainless steel. We have your denim blue and the stainless steel weight, that is the cheapest weight, or you can go with copper weight, which is the most expensive one. And damn, that looks pretty damn nice. So this one has the blue denim coating and it has a texture to it and it's a little sparkly. Honestly didn't know it was sparkly when I decided to get this unit. But hey, it's a surprise and I actually don't hate it. It's actually pretty cool. A little bit of difference and the coating is pretty damn good. Like I've tried the matrix coating with the vertex angle and this is pretty close. It has a little bit of a texture to it so I can feel it, but it's generally still pretty smooth. And even this unit here, the anodization, that is pretty clean, man. That is pretty damn clean. Surprisingly, that SS weight is the cheapest of the three. The copper weight is, well, expensive. The amount of customization you can get here in the pre-order group buy is wild. If you want to get your specific combination, definitely consider pre-ordering rather than waiting for other vendors such as Divinity to carry it. If you wait for them to stock it, they may not have every combination. The machining on this stainless steel weight is the bee's knees. There's fingerprints, of course, because I don't wipe my stuff, but damn. Kiko, who? The RGB bar here is interesting. I don't know why there's a slope leading into the LED. It's not really a slope at all, but you can stick your finger in it, I guess. Aside from that, the top is generally pretty standard. A lot of people in the chat were saying it looks like the QK80, but it's because they both have RGB bars. Aesthetically, the side profile and rear weight are very different. Here's a rear weight. As for the mounting, there's a bit too many mounting points. The extra mounting points by the spacebar make it sound kind of gross, and that's the weakest part of the sound. No foams because we don't do it like that. Overall, before the force break, it sounded a little bit thin, and that's because we had the 1.2mm PCB here, and I just do not like thin PCBs. But in terms of the assembly, I didn't like it because the proto units here had a lot of roughness in the screw holes. I really had to crank it down to get it to close and crank it down for the plate to sit tight to the top mount. It doesn't make me feel really good about it, and I let KBD fans know, so hopefully they can clean up them holes. As I mentioned, the bottom right mod's kind of thin and the spacebar, a little bit of case resonance. Ironically, it sounded like it could use some foam. At the very least, force break mod, so that's why I force braked both of these. Loud, full sound, and it sounded better, but still a little thin. The board itself, at least the mounting, isn't muting the sound. It's just that dang PCB. Overall, there's not any noticeable ping, but the final product of the sound isn't anything to write home about. I really wish they sent out prototype 1.6mm PCBs. A lot of the China group buys are realizing that they should prototype those so that reviewers can show the best sound possible for the board. My favorite combo is still a non-flex cut PCB and a non-flex cut plate, especially in a top mount TKL. It's just a very clean sound. It's boring and kind of dated, and I maybe sound like a boomer at this point. It's just the mass of a TKL, especially with a big weight like this, is going to benefit a lot from a good thick sound. So when we first built it, the top mount kind of thin, the gasket mount a little bit better, but we definitely do not want to use all the mounting points. Take out the silicone or the top mount by the spacebar. Trust me, those two are not going to make it sound any better. It helped the sound a bunch, but still it needs some help with the force break. So force break, use the tape in my description, easy to tear, wrap around the entire board, and you're good to go. It does help a little bit with the hollowness. I'm glad the board doesn't ping, but has a little bit of resonance, which is code for hollowness. So that really helps round out the sound. It's kind of weird. The force break makes it sound a little bit more dead, less lively. Maybe this resonance provides some character to the board. I don't know anymore. The good thing is force break is a removal mod, so if you don't like it, just rip off the tape. I swear, the MX Blacks on aluminum are just tried and true, and they're just gonna sound better. Let's go ahead and swap that into our build here. So use my ear holes, not through a speaker, and see if it sounds pretty good. There we go, baby. MX Blacks on aluminum. That's the way. I hate it, but I love it because it sounds so good, but I also hate that it's the only thing that sounds good. And as for this keyboard and who it's for, well, it's priced low enough to be a good recommendation for almost anyone. At $199 for any color with stainless steel weight, includes the solder PCB, a little bit more if you want the hot swap. That's a banger of a deal, like really hard to beat that. Shipping from KBD fans isn't too crazy either. If you want a brass weight, it's gonna be a little bit more, or the copper weight, it's gonna be a lot more. The budget landscape is honestly just so filled with options, but I know what you care about. Is it in stock? Or else I'm just gonna buy from Mode. Valid. If you want in stock today, you can buy from Mode. I hear you. Pre-order or group buy, you're still on the hook for waiting. KBD8X may have some in-stock units when the group buy drops, but the plan is to in-stock this after the pre-order. You're not gonna have all the options, but you can skip the wait if you want. So yeah, if you want something ASAP in stock today, this may not be the product to go for. Now, if you do like the KBD8X MKIII and you want a specific color board with a specific weight, pre-order it now. Make sure you use the link in my description below if you want to help support the channel. Would I buy this myself? Honestly, for the nostalgia, yes. Honestly, because it's cheaper than the Frog, yes. I really enjoy this keyboard. The Frog is better in sound, but the spacebar on the Frog is worse. So, it means 50-50. The Frog is more expensive too, so there's less of a reason to spend $119 for Tiger 80 Lite, which is discontinued anyway, when you can spend $80 more for a full CNC aluminum case with a stainless steel weight. Well, there's the copper. This one is the $199 version. So you got your CNC, you got your coating, and you got your stainless steel weight. It's just a no-brainer. Sure, it's not the lowest of budgets. I get this comment all the time. Budget is in the eye of the beholder, and for this quality, this is budget price and pushing more toward mid-tier quality. Like, I would expect this to cost like $300, $350, $400 from other vendors. Try to spec out a similar board from Mode with a stainless steel weight, and you'll see how good of a deal $199 is. Let me know what you think of the KBD8X MKIII in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.